Wrong button. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Atlas. I'm Flinger Foo, and today we're going to be discussing how to start in Atlas, how to get started, how to get your feet wet per se, how to get your first boat, what all the stats mean, and pretty much just how to get started and play the game. Alright, so like I said, my name's Flinger Foo, so when you first load into Atlas, you have a couple different options. You can either play on the public servers, or you can play on the private server or the solo local play. This right here, I am actually playing on the solo local play Blackwoods map. Yeah, and we're getting ready for the Xbox release that is going to be happening here pretty soon. Yeah, because Atlas is coming to the Xbox. They're going to have crossplay between PC and Xbox. It's amazing. I think it's going to be just an amazing experience for everybody on Xbox, because I've been playing this game for a while, and yeah, I think now is an appropriate time where I think I might know a little bit what I'm talking about. Kind of, maybe, possibly, and I'm going to try to give you guys as much of that information that I have, or that I've accrued over the past months of playing this game. Alright, so hey, let's jump into this, and then this right here, when you first start on any of the servers, this is the screen you're going to be starting out with. Now, this is where you create your character. You can go through all these different little bits and bobs, and pretty much just make your character however you want it. You can go to head, body, you can choose male and female, all this other cool little stuff right here, and then you get to name your character. And then reason why I didn't just skip through all of this is because another thing right here, you get to draw your tattoo on your character. And then you could either go with, say, all you do is take the die, and you drag it down on the paintbrush, and then you just mouse over wherever you want to draw it. You can either stencil it in, or you can get like a preloaded one if you're on PC, and do it that way. Me, I just like to press shift so it makes the nice thick lines, and then just do a right there. There we go. We've got a PP on our chest, because everybody needs a PP on their chest. And then we just close that up. Notice that we still got a PP on our chest. And then all we do is just create Pathfinder and go on in. Now, this right here, if you're on the Blackwood map, where you spawn is actually very important. If you're on just the regular public servers, where you spawn, it's not that important unless you want to meet up with a few friends or something like that. But if you're on Blackwoods, I would recommend starting at the Blackwood Freeport. It is the easiest, even though it's not easy by any means. Just so you know that. Even though I say it is the easiest, it's not that easy. All right, because there are lions and tigers and bears and, oh my, all sorts of different cool stuff that's ready to eat your face. All right, so hey, let's do it. Okay, as soon as you load into Atlas, this is what you can kind of expect to see. If you are playing on Blackwood, this is the Blackwood Freeport, and this is the general start spot. If you're playing on the other, on the public server maps, then then the Freeport that you start at is going to look slightly different, but quite similar to this one. All right, so here, let's take a look. Okay, so it's 7:10 in the morning. You can press H to open this up if you're on PC, and then find out just what temperature and time it is. And then let's just head down here to the water. And then as we go, we're going to be picking up stuff on the ground by hitting the use button. You'll notice that some of this stuff is going to be kind of different. You're going to be getting, instead of like stone and such like that, you're going to be getting things like granite and marble. Now here, let's take a quick look at these things, because even though they say this right here is marble and this one is granite, you'll notice they both say resource stone, which means that if you're crafting something that requires stone, then these things will actually give you, it's a one-for-one conversion. They can be used as stone. But as you get higher level and you get specialized blueprints that require like 4 different types of stone, these are classified as different types of stone. So these can be used as the different ones, or they can also just be used as just regular stone. All right, same thing goes for all the different types of thatch, wood, silk, or fibers, everything, hide. All of them, I believe, have like 5 or 6 different types. So keep an eye out for those, but also realize that your inventory is going to be filling up. All right, so now that we've got that covered, all right, and like I'm saying, like I'm gonna prep you guys here early on. Hold on to your butts because there's gonna be a lot of information flying at you wicked fast during this video because there's so much when it comes around to the beginner's guides for an Atlas video, and which is why I've been holding off on it because there's just so much information to try to get out in just one video. Now, granted, whenever I do a beginner's guide, I always try to do a follow-on season to go with it, so where we can continue to go through and refine all the little bits and pieces, talk about all the little things as we go. Yeah, but I'm going to try to get as much of it covered today. All right, so now you'll notice this is your character sheet. There's your name, there's your level, there's your company up here. If you want a different company, you can go up here, you can click it, and then you can rename, you can do all sorts of different things with it. I'm really not going to worry about it because I'm playing on a single player game right now. Now here's all your item slots. It's your head, your hands, your torso, your legs, and your feet. As you equip things, it'll take a certain amount of time. It's not like in other games where you just put it in the slot and just bam, it's there. No, it actually takes, depending on the slot, it takes a certain amount of time for you to be able to equip it. So don't expect for it to be instantaneous. Like say if a tiger's chasing you and hey, you forgot to equip your spear. Well, guess what? You need to get to a safe spot before you equip that spear because it's going to take like 10 seconds before that thing becomes activated once you put it on your hotbar. Just know this. All right, and then also, let's talk about the character stats here. Now, the health, this is the first one. This right here is your general hit points. When it comes around to the other games, when this goes down to 0, you die. So always try to make sure that you make your enemies go to 0 before you go to 0. Yeah. All right, and then stamina, this right here is your endurance. How far you can run, how much you can smack things, how much you can hit things, how much you can harvest things. When you go down to 0 stamina, you start to accrue torpor. If you get too much torpor, you'll actually tire yourself out and fall asleep on the ground while that tiger's trying to chase you and eat you and, you know, munch on your little tender bits. It happens. Yeah, pay close attention to that. All right, and then there's food. This right here, you're going to have to keep trying to... you always have to eat and then try to fill this up. But it's not like other games, and I will cover this. I will come back to this one here in just a few minutes because this one is kind of important, and it kind of ties in with water as well. All right, so water, this is the same as food. Try to keep an eye on it, and just remember that while this is a seafaring game, an ocean game, you can't drink seawater. You have to drink fresh water. So keep an eye out for fresh water, and we'll also discuss where to find fresh water here really soon. All right, oxygen, this right here is determines how long you can hold your breath while you're underwater. Yeah, this is an ocean game. You will be diving underneath the waves and dealing with sharks and mermaids that want to eat your face. Yeah, it happens. Welcome to Atlas. All right, and then there's Fortitude. This right here is your, just like what it says right here, affects capability to handle the extreme elements and the rate of decrease of all vital stats. Vital stats are these right here. Yes, these are your, your vitamins, and we'll cover that here in just a sec. Weight, this right here is pretty simple. When you first start out at level 1, you can carry 320. I recommend raising this up to 400 really fast. It doesn't take very long, just a couple levels. You get, I believe, 16 points per level. It's not too bad. All right, now intelligence, this right here is when you're crafting things, you get an additional bonus to the level of the crafting ability when you're crafting from different blueprints that you gather. It does matter, and it is very cool. Now, you can, as you go through, get different shoulder pets that help buff some of these. Like you get the monkeys, you'll get a parrot like over here flying in the corner. You'll also get ravens and stuff like that. It is really, really cool. The ravens give you an intelligence buff. The parrots give you a fortitude buff. The fortitude buff is probably my favorite. Even though the monkeys on my shoulder are really wicked cool and they throw poop at things which snare them, and which makes it so where they can't chase after you very fast and can save your life, I like the parrots quite a bit because the parrots give you a fortitude buff. All right, so hey, now that we've got that covered, now we'll talk about the food. Now, the food with this is really, really intricate in this. But when you first start playing the game, you're like, you can get overwhelmed with it and be just like, oh, I could never keep up on that. But after a while, it just kind of becomes second nature, and it becomes super easy to balance, and you'll realize that you're balancing it without even thinking about it. Yeah. So, like, when you start out, it's a bit overwhelming. After a while, not too bad whatsoever. All right, so now the key thing is to keep all of these levels as equal as possible when it comes around to it. Now these right here, each one of these, you have like the vitamin A, B, C, and D, I believe it is. All right, so now the vitamin things that give you vitamin A are like the coconuts and vegetables, and then the ones that give you the vitamin B is meats, which is like the beef, the cooked pig, stuff like that, just the raw meat. And then the next one is the vitamin C, which is the berries or the fruits, stuff like that. And then the next one is the vitamin D, which is cow's milk or cooked fish. So yeah, you need to have some of those stuff in your inventory at all times. But one of the bonuses, if you keep these things balanced, and see right here behind it, as we've been talking, there's this little tiny green bar that slowly is filling. As you have these things balanced, this green bar will go higher and higher and higher, and once it reaches the top, you'll get a buff that decreases how much it's balanced nutrition, I believe is the name of it, and it will decrease how fast these go down. Plus, it'll also make it so where you don't eat as much, and then also it'll give you 30-point Fortitude buff. It's important to have that buff as often as possible because it does make a huge difference. Right now, it's early in the morning, so we don't have to worry too much about the temperatures. But as time goes on, remember, we are in a tropical island right now. So it's going to, that was 14 points on that. So it is going to heat up rather quickly. All right, so we just got our first level by sitting there and just passively leveling while we were talking about it. As soon as you level up, the first points you want to spend, as soon as you click whichever one, I recommend wait. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I totally recommend it. It will immediately take you to the skills window, and it'll open this window right here, and I recommend the very first one you take is the basics. It's called the basics for a reason. Now this right here will give you hatchet, stone pick, torch, campfire, all your clothing, bed, and also notes. It is wicked important. Now along with this one, I would also recommend getting a spear because you need something to be able to protect yourself. And then along with that, I would also recommend going with Waterkeeper. This right here will allow you to get a water skin or to craft a water skin, but you need to get hide, which means that you have to use the spear to get the hide so where you can make the water skin, and then once you have the water skin, you could rule the world. Trust me, it's amazing. And then you go out, you make a ship with a galleon with a whole bunch of cannons on it, and yeah, it's amazing. All right, so now we're just gonna be over here gathering up a bunch of stuff, and then we're going to come up to a tree. Now, how do we get stuff from a tree when we don't have any stuff? Well, we're going to punch it. And you'll notice there's two attacks. There's a right click and a left click attack. Now, we're going to cycle between the attacks, right and left, because if we just use the same one, and we're not going to get as much resources from it. But by cycling through it, we're going to kind of maximize our profit from that, right? Because punching tree, question mark, question mark, question mark, equals profit. Yeah, you heard it here. That's how it works. All right, so now we're going to come over here and we're going to use our use key on gathering up some of this stuff. You'll notice that we're also while we're gathering up fiber and stuff from these, we'll also be gathering up berries. You can get bilberries, strawberries, elderberries, all sorts of different berries. You can get different fruits, all sorts of things. Just remember, you're going to want to hold on to a lot of that because we're going to want to use that as food as we're going. All right, do we have enough stuff to actually craft something? All right, let's see. Weapons, primitive, melee, yep, stone pick. As soon as we get the stone pick crafted, we're going to go use it to beat up a rock. They put that down here in one. And see, it takes 5 seconds to equip the pick. And as soon as that's equipped, we're going to go get some flint from a rock so where we can get a hatchet. Now, if you come up to one of these rocks, and then, well, any resource in the game, if you're curious to find out what it is, what it will give you, all you have to do is go up to it and hold down H, and it'll tell you everything that you can harvest from that item. Just like this rock right here, we can get limestone, chalcedony, and copper from this one rock. All right, so let's beat it up. Now, if you're going to beat up a stone, if you want more flint than stone, use a pick. If you want more stone than flint, then I recommend you use a hatchet because you'll end up getting more of that. So the secondary resource will usually yield higher off of using a hatchet. But the first the primary resource and the tertiary resource, the first and the third, you'll get more amounts if you use a pick off it. That's generally what I've found out throughout this game. All right, so now that we've got this, now our goal is we're going to craft up some spears. How many can we craft? Just one. All right, well, what are we lacking? We're missing wood. Okay, so now, since we want wood, all right, we're going to use a hatchet on this thing. Okay, so the first and the second one wasn't exactly right on the wood. Oh, and now it's starting to get hot. So, yeah, you get more wood by using a hatchet on a tree. Yeah. All right, so now that we've got that, let's make up a few more spears. How many? Yep, 3. All right, you notice when we equip this, okay, it will take some time to equip right there, 6 seconds. But also, one thing to note is you can only have one two-handed weapon on any of your hotbars down here at any time. And since a spear is a two-handed weapon or is a regular weapon, then you can't have, say, like a bow equipped on your hotbar. If you try to take a bow and you drag it down here, it will remove that. It'll make sure that you put it in the same slot as the spear. I think it's kind of cool. It's a little bit frustrating when you first get started, but it'll help you out in the long run. All right, so now that we've got our spear equipped, now we're going to go up and we're going to inform this chicken that we are about to embark on the journey to impact the wildlife on this island by ridding it of all of the evil chickens. Yes, because chickens are one of the easiest ways of getting hide. So now that we've got some of that, we're going to go back to here, and then we're going to go armor, cloth. Sure, let's click that. We're missing a whole bunch of fiber, so let's go gather a whole bunch of that stuff. And then also these monkeys. But the weird thing about this game, well, actually, it's not really that weird. It's just kind of the progression system of this game, as you will notice that you can't just start off immediately by being able to tame things. You actually have to learn the ability to tame things, which allows you to specialize in certain things. It's like you can't just go, hey, I'm going to be the best archer I can be. Let's craft a bow and arrow, and let's be amazing. No, you can't do that. You have to go through the archery tree here, which is unlocked right here, and then that will unlock the archery tree, which is right here, and then you go through, and then you just become amazing with it, and then you go off, and then you shoot things with your bow, and then things fall down, and then, yeah, that's how that works. All right, but also if you want to be able to tame stuff, you have to unlock this tree right here, which is Beast Mastery, which will send you down the path of Beast Mastery right here, which is a pretty big tree. Yeah, this is how you breed, do commands, how you make the saddles, how you can learn how to sneak to be better to get closer to them, so where you can feed them a lot easier. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then this also includes construction, hand-to-hand combat, melee weaponry. Yeah, this is where you make your swords, your rapiers, all that stuff, where you get the different attacks. Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, and then here, there's firearms. This is where you get your flintlock pistols and how you unlock artillery. Yeah, it is wicked cool. And then here you can get the armor, which is, you know, the basic armor, and then it goes all the way through to hide and all the way down to metal. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And then here you go to medicine, where you can get like the little buffs. You can help to heal people, all sorts of cool stuff. And then here's the artillery, where you get the cannons for your ships, because this is a pirate game. Ships are totally a thing. All right, and then from there, you go to the Seamanship, and this right here will help you out with your crew and being able to see loot on the horizon. Yeah, I know, right? All right, and then there's the captaineering, where this right here is where you give the little tiny the little tiny abilities to all of your people that are actually on your ship. Yeah, and then it's like you get the talented crew and then the cheaper crew, and then you educate your crew and then have them eat less food. It's pretty cool. And then cooking and farming is just like what it is. Yes, you could raise your own crops. Yes, you can cook with all sorts of different recipes. And this is how you unlock them. And then from there, you go to the music and dance, because an accordion is something everybody needs, right? Yeah, it's not nearly as easy as you thought it was, because playing an accordion in this game, it takes talent. It really does. All right, then from there, we go to Piracy. Now, Piracy, I always recommend take this as soon as you get a boat. Take this just for the first one and maybe a few more, because the grappling hook and the the shovel abilities that are in this are, yeah, they're absolutely necessary. And then these quest skills right here, you get these ones from doing certain things like killing whales, killing the end boss, doing all sorts of stuff. Like this right here is you get the master treasure, the treasure master thing. And then, yeah, you unlock this skill from it, which means all your melee tools have a 100% durability boost. It's pretty cool. All right, and then from there, we're going to go and we're going to gather up a little bit more hide real quick. You coming at me, chicken? All right, this is why you guys went extinct, huh? Start whacking on one, and then the other ones want to come fight me. All right. All right, so now that we've got that, now we're going to gather up a bunch more straw because it's kind of necessary, and since we're in this melee, we have to pop our way out of it, or else we'll be stuck in that forever. And then while we're like this, we need to keep an eye out for tigers and bears and scorpions and snakes, because they are totally a thing. And if a tiger sets its sights on you and we're just like this, we're just starting out, it's going to eat us, and it's going to hurt, and it's going to be bad, and then we're going to be going and looking for our corpse, and then realize that we can't get our corpse, and then from there, we're gonna have to go cry a little bit, and then remake all the stuff we've already made so far. That's just the way it works. But yeah. Okay, so now that we've got this, now we've got some meat. All right, but now that we've got some meat, now we need to head over, and let's see, did they actually fix this where there's fish out here in the waters? I don't think that they fixed it yet. I know they're intending on doing it. Eventually, there will be fish in this bay, but right now there is not. So, let's grab this coconut, and then we're going to go cry in the corner. And then while we're doing that, we're going to finish making all this stuff. And then, let's see, equip that. I hear you over there, Mr. Monkey. Let's see, equip that. Equip that. And then we need more fiber just for that. Okay, so let's grab some fiber really quick, and then we'll head up and we'll go see if we can find some fish meat. That way there we can cook it, and then I can show you exactly how to balance your food, because food is very, very important. And then also we're going to discuss how to find fresh water. Yeah, you can either find a bilberries aren't straw. All right. It's important that you find out early on where to get, we don't need all these berries, where to get fresh water, and then don't stray too far from it from the beginning. You will eventually, but that's also another reason why we learned how to make our water skin right there. All right, and then we'll take the water skin, we'll put it down here in 3, so where we can always do water skin. All right, bam. All right, so let's see, let's hide that really quick so we can not have to worry about that ugly bandana. And then on the way through the Freeport, I'm going to be discussing a few things. Like I said, so much information coming at you in this very first video. I'm trying really hard to get all this information going. All right, so running to the end of the pier, you will, I'm sure you've been wondering, all right, where do you get your first ship, Flinger? Well, I'm about to show you that. All right, run to the pier in the Freeport, and there'll be this guy right here, a shipyardsman. You go up to him and you press your use button, and then he will be able to sell you the first ships. It's just, first one is just a dinghy, or a raft, or the ramshackle sloop. None of these things are super high quality, especially the ramshackle sloop, but they are enough to get your feet wet. Ha ha ha, pun intended. All right, but if you want to make a ship that's not a ramshackle, the way that you do that is you go through and then you get down here to construction and mercantilism, and then from there you go down through to unlock seamanship. This right here, seamanship is where you, let's see, where's seamanship? Is that it? Yeah. Seamanship is where you unlock the basics of sailing where you can make this stuff by yourself. Once you unlock the first one, you go down to the second one. This is where you start learning the shipyards, where you can make the bigger ships. This first one is the sloop. The next one from there is down here, which is intermediate shipwright, is where you can get the schooner, which is wicked fast. And you can, this right here is one of the ones where you can start putting additional sails on, and then you have to get into the mechanics of which sails are the best. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can kind of min-max your boats. It's really wicked cool. And then from there, you can get the brigantine, and then you can eventually settle for the big, massive galleon. Okay, Parrot, you scared the crap out of me, dude. All right, so now that we've got that going, all right, now let's take this. Let me go clean my shorts from that parrot. All right, and then once we got that, we can come up here, back up to the free port, back up into the little fort that's up here, and then you got up here, any place where there's green, you have to be very careful. Because, yeah, you can have tigers that just appear up here. All right, so, that's a lot of chickens. I'm going to be busy for a while. You chickens, you guys are going to rise up and take over humanity. Right, so even though this water up here in the back part of the free port looks like it's green and gross, this is fresh water. You can dive right in and get a drink. You can go up to the edge of it. You can use your use button on it. You can get a drink right here. And just go boop, like that, grab some, and then you can also harvest some green algae from it. All right, but also, more importantly, you can get catfish from it. And then as soon as you gank a catfish, you will come right up here to the edge, and then you'll immediately be carrying it. You press the button to let it go. And remember, when you're harvesting these guys up, if you want more meat than skin, use a pick on it. If you want more skin than you get meat, use a hatchet on it. And this one didn't have very much at all. It was a big fish, but it really didn't have that much. And also, another cool thing about these places up here, if you're wandering around up in these places, some of these little structures, even while you can't build inside of them, which would be wicked cool, but they can give you a little momentary bit of respite. Because they'll give you like a little safe haven. Notice that you come in here, and there's not a whole ton of things that can come in here. Yeah, tigers can come in here, but they're not going to aggro you through the wall. So if you want a nice little place to come and chill out while you're catching your breath, I recommend these, and then you can head out this door, and then you can go be back on your merry way, and then no one's the wiser. Yeah, it works. All right, so then, now that we've got that covered, let's get our butts back down to the beach, and let's go build our bonfire so where we can start balancing our food. All right. All right, back down here at the free port. Let's go like this. Let's see. Cooking, campfire, thank you. Here, right there. All right, and all you do is just mouse over it, click on it, and then you can place it down right like that. All right, open up your inventory, throw some wood in this sucker, bam, and then we'll get the nice aged wood flavor, throw our fish in there, throw our meat in there, and then light this sucker up, and it's gonna be giving us some nice smoked fish and smoked meats. Not really, it's just gonna cook the stuff, and then we gotta eat it before it spoils. Yeah, that's a thing. All right, give me a minute, and then I'll show you guys here in a sec. All right, looks like we got our first snake that's coming into the area. Yeah, rattlesnakes are a thing. And horses. I love horses in this game. They're so cool. All right, now snakes will attack you with this torpor attack, which ends up knocking you out. So I recommend don't get bit by them. Yeah, just... Oh, wrong button. Yeah, don't get bit by the snakes. It's kind of important. If you do get bit by a snake, run for cover. Try to get up high before you pass out, especially if it's a cobra. Cobras have the nasty habit of knocking you out and then eating you while you're asleep. It's fun. It's exciting, really. Yeah. All right, now that we've got some cooked fish and some cooked meat, we're gonna go like this. Come over here to the edge, away from the fire, because that's overheating us. Hey, Mr. Monkey. Yeah, take off, Foo. Don't worry, we will get you here in a little bit, all right? All right, so now, notice that while we've been doing all this, our food hasn't gone down that fast. But neither have these things over here, our vitals. But we still need to balance them. Now, the easiest way to balance them, if you're until you start getting the increased meats, is just go like this: 1 fish, 1 meat, 1 coconut, 5 berries. And then everything will stay even right across the board. You notice as you eat stuff, it will slowly raise each one. And you notice it's pretty even right now with just that ratio. Remember, 1 fish, 1 meat, 1 coconut, 5 berries. Now, if you need to balance them as well, notice that the green algae and the coconut are the same. They give you the same vitamin A. I believe it's 5 green algae gives you the same as 1 coconut, just like the berries. 5 berries gives you the same equivalent, and that is a really nice looking parrot. Deep colors on you, buddy, and you're level 17 too. Just give me a few levels, man, and we will have you on our shoulder. All right, so hey, anyway, I think that's probably gonna do it. A lot of information in this video. I hope I covered just about everything. Oh, one last thing I need to cover. All right, if you don't have access to water, but you need it, you can come up to inland away from the sea, and I believe on this island, you gotta go wicked far. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to show you because it's so far that you have to go. But you get up, and then you lay down on the ground, and then if you left click, or if you click, then it'll start up this mini game where you have to stop the scale right in the middle of... Yeah, you gotta get way away from that ocean on this map. But yeah, it starts up a little scale so where you can get water. If you get the slider inside of the blue thing 3 times in a row, then it'll give you water. You can drink from it, or once you get higher level, you can craft a shovel and you can just dig, and then you don't have to worry about the minigame too much. Yeah. All right. So, hey, I hope this video helps you out. I hope you learned some stuff. I hope it can help you get started out in Atlas. And yeah, all right. So, hey, if it helps you out, if you like it, make sure you click that like button. I really appreciate that. If you're new around here, subscribe. And until next time, this is Flinger Foo, and take it easy, everybody.